Hi, Besties, and this is You Against You podcast, and I'm your host, Indigenous Nicole. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to create the perfect morning routine. So, yes, I have done probably one or two episodes in the past two seasons about creating a morning routine, but I feel like because we are in a new year and because we're about to start a new month, so March is literally tomorrow. Today is a leap year. But the 29th, by the way, of February, but everyone usually start getting their life together in March because January and February are those trial runs, and a lot of people, which is kind of proven, I read it somewhere on the internet, that a lot of people really get serious about their goals late February to early March. So why not have this episode on the first Sunday of March, which is all going to be about how to create a perfect morning routine. So this will probably not be a long episode. We're going to try. I have three main key points to talk about and then some other things to talk about. But let's just get into today's episode. But before we get into today's episode, of course, we got to do the weekly updates. So, mental health checkup. So, my mental health has been, in the beginning of the week, it has been okay, but I feel like as a whole, it actually been good than just okay, in my opinion, because one, I'm getting things back in order with me. Two, I started my part-time job, which is not actually stressful. I'm a personal assistant or PA for this motivational speaker slash coach at my university. So I just have to send emails. I have my own schedule and the pay is good. So yeah, so I started my part-time job. Another thing is just it is hard, but I have heard, just talking to my partner lately, even though it's hard because he's in the military, but when I do hear from him, it makes me happy just to know that he's alive, but he's not even stationed, not stationed, but on deployment, but still, you never know because it can be hard. So just hearing from him, no matter what times of the day, it really makes me happy. But also, I'm getting things back in order, back in track with a lot of things, which includes school and everything else. I was going to record a YouTube video after this podcast episode, but I'm going to push that till probably tomorrow or Friday. No, or Saturday. I might do it actually Friday, so tomorrow, because I have things to do. So I'm probably going to record two videos tomorrow and then record a video on Saturday. So your girl has just been so busy with school, her part-time job, and just content. And then I'm creating content for the podcast, Instagram, and the TikTok, and just social media for the podcast, and then also creating content for my main platform, which I actually have to edit so much reels and pictures to post on my Instagram. So when I say your girl have been so busy, but just hearing from the people who really care about me, like my friends, my supporters, and my partner, it just really helps. And then I'm doing something for my business, which I think the news will come out either tomorrow or Saturday. I think Saturday is where I have it on my calendar, but yeah. But yeah, so I just been so busy, and I hope that you're keeping yourself busy, and it's actually good to keep yourself busy because you're doing something, you're being productive, and you're going towards your goals. And then also, I've been talking to vendors for my business and for some future products for the merch that I'm planning to do for my podcast. So, yeah. Like, this is actually a big thing. It's more of a wellness item than what you can wear. Like, you can, like, use this a lot. So, when that comes out, when I finish and get the first sample, because I just talked to my vendor, I got the price. I'm gonna get it after I finish the pages and tell her what I need to do. And I did say pages, so that gives you a hint on what this item is and just everything that I need to do and everything I need to fix because I low-key want to fix something about it. I'm going to tell y'all. So I'm just so happy that I'm creating merch, and some of the merch would be wearable, but I told y'all that I'm creating merch. And if you like subscribe to my main YouTube channel, I showed y'all my clothing merch for the podcast, which are tote bags and t-shirt slash sweatshirt designs. But I rarely showed y'all like other merch that I'm planning to do. So yeah, but I'm so happy that I'm actually going after towards my goals. I'm getting that bag and that I'm going to do big things, and I'm also continue writing. I actually want to start writing again next month and make time for that. And I'm making some digital products which would be like cost $5 each. So I'm just so happy. That's why my mental health is like very good for the last like for this week because it's Thursday. I was gonna say last week, but no, for this week because I just have like good vibes and good energy around me. Like someone complimented my outfit today. Like I said, it's been so good. And I did therapy. Was it yesterday? Or yeah, I did therapy yesterday. I was like, was it yesterday or Tuesday? But no, I didn't go to campus yesterday. So I did therapy yesterday, and that really just helped me release a lot of emotion that I had because like I rarely have anyone to talk to. So I go to therapy, which helps. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy. So just remember that. But my mood, my mental health just had been so good. But from hearing from my best friend, hearing from friends, hearing from supporters, and hearing from my partner, actually number one, hearing from my partner really does like, help. He had 24-hour duty like 2 days ago, and then we had a phone call. So it was like good to hear his voice and hear from him because like I said, being in a relationship with someone in the military, it's hard. It's like very hard. But if you can do it, you can do it. And the people who are also doing it, you're strong as well. Because it's not for the weak. And yeah, but let's just get on to the other weekly updates. I think I said other so weird. So other weekly updates. So the quote of today. So the quote of the day, not a quote of today, but the quote of the day is it's never too late to dream bigger dreams. I just told y'all I have so many plans that I want to do, and those are just my dreams. And no matter what dreams I have, they're going to come true. And I just saw this quote on the motivation app, and I was like, I need to say this in the next podcast episode. So, again, the quote is it's never too late to dream bigger dreams, and remember to always follow your dreams no matter what. Always follow your goals no matter what. Dreams will come true. You just have to remember that you have to put the work into those dreams to let them come true because no dreams will not come true if you do not put in the work. So, yeah. Now, the affirmation of the day is I'm doing my best, and that's enough. I feel like a lot of people really need to hear that and tell themselves that, like, I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Because we're in a world where people pressure us a lot, and it's very hard. It's like very, very hard to live in a world that we get so stressed out to be how someone else wants us to be. no matter if it's parents, family members, co-workers, bosses, friends, friends, acquaintances. A lot of people want us to be the best, but what if we can be the best how we want to be the best, not how someone else wants to be the best? So just remember, you can do the best on how you want to, on how you define you doing the best. And remember, that is enough. So, yeah. And then, whew, the journal prompt of today's episode is, what is the 3 things I can get closer to my goals? So let me repeat that because that did not come out right. But the journal prompt is, what is 3 things I can do to get closer to my goals? So that's the journal prompt. What are 3 things that you can do that can help you get closer to your goals? So, 3 tres. And if I can answer that question before we get into today's episode, one of my goals is to become a published author. Well, I'm already a published author in like a published book. I wrote a poem for a book, but to be a novelist and to write like murder novels, romance novels, mini type romance novels, and smut and all of that. I'm actually writing one. But anyways, my goal to become like an author, especially if I want to become like a best-selling author one day, is to just continue to write and remember that yes, I know I will have my days of writer blocks, but if I just continue to write and to write and to write, it can happen. To also talk to so many publishing companies and then find the one that I think that yes, they see how my book can go from nothing to best selling, also to find an editor, find an illustrator, because I do want illustrations in my books. If you like know like some of those romance novels have illustrations in the book and some of the pages, then you know like why I said like an illustrator. I also like want one day to have books that I written in like so many languages. So like my goal is to be a number one best-selling author or the New York Times best-selling author one day. But yeah, and to like have my book part of like book talk. So that is a goal of mine once I finish writing. And I like writing and I like reading, so it's like, you know, good. And like I think I'm going to change one of my character in one of my novels. I changed the title to that novel that I'm changing the character in. Well, I'm just changing his ethnicity. Yeah, I'm just changing his ethnicity. But yeah, but let's just get into today's episode. But before we get into today's episode, remember you can follow You Against You podcast on Instagram and TikTok at You Against You pod.bydeja. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and don't forget to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and a rating on Spotify. And let's just get into this episode. Yes, this is a long intro, but let's just talk about how to create the perfect morning routine, besties. Okay, so let's just get into today's episode. Let me get my notes because I just had them open too. But, hold up. I have like my episodes very organized on Notion now, so like yeah, they're not all over the place. But let's talk about how to create the perfect morning routine, besties. So, we're going to talk about 3 main key points, which are identifying the difficult tasks, determining the why, well, your why on why you want to create a morning routine, and determining how much time you need to do each task. And then I'm going to talk about some other minor key points as well. So, but yeah, but let's just get into the first key point. So the first key point is identifying the difficult task. So, when you are creating a morning routine, right? You want to know why you want to create this morning routine. And the first thing you probably are thinking is, what time should I wake up? Now, that is like the most simple question ever, is what time should I wake up, right? But for some people, just thinking about a time to wake up can be very difficult because a lot of people are not morning people. Some people wake up late, and that can be like from 10:30 to like 12 p.m. So 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the early afternoon. So you want to ask yourself this easy question, even though it's actually difficult to answer, is what time should I wake up? Now, I'm gonna say this, we're in the generation where people do romanticize morning routines, and I'm not gonna like lie, I wake up at 4 sometimes, I wake up at 5 sometimes, I wake up at 6 sometimes, I wake up at 7. It just depends. Mostly lately I've been waking up like at 4:50 to 5 or 5:30 to 6. So like I'm an early bird, so like my body is used to me waking up. So you want to ask yourself, what time do I want to wake up? And that's going to be difficult, especially if you're not an early bird. And soon you have to set an alarm on that time. And the most difficult part is you need to set your alarm, have the volume up, and wake up to that alarm for like the next week or 2 weeks. Or no, for the next whole month. So 4 weeks. And that is going to help you create, you just forcing yourself to wake up at your alarm no matter what time that you put it. It can be 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., 5:30, and so on. But if you're not an early bird and you're someone who usually stay up late, party, doom scroll on your phone, watch TikToks, or just watch and binge watch your favorite shows, and you're staying up till like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m., or 1 a.m., then you need to change that. And that's is something I'm going to talk about, is that you need to change your sleep schedule. But first of all, you want to identify your difficult task. Now, waking up, like I said, it sounds easy, but for some people, it can actually be hard. Now, the next difficult task that you can probably have in your morning routine, in when you are setting a morning routine, is moving your body. So for some people don't like going to the gym or working up. Wait, what? Or working out early in the morning. So that is the difficult task, is just getting out of bed, putting on your gym clothes, and just working out. But what if you can just do something simple like yoga or at home Pilates? You can find a YouTube video and do that. So, what can you do to make this difficult task of working out in the morning so much easier? Which is setting out your gym clothes, your workout clothes, or some comfortable clothes that you want to work out in, on your dresser, on your bed, or in the bathroom. When you wake up to go brush your teeth, it's right there. So after you brush your teeth, after you do your skincare, you can just change and you're all set. You go in your room, get your yoga mat, and do some yoga or some at home Pilates. So that is another difficult part. Another difficult task is going straight on your phone and going straight to social media. For some people, a lot of people add that to their morning routines. There have been so many morning routines. Even when I record morning routines on for my channel, I have not recorded morning routines for like Instagram and TikTok yet, but like for my channel, I have created like morning routines, like I don't know. I don't know how many, but there has been parts that I don't record, and those parts are just me scrolling on social media, being on my phone, texting, not testing, but texting my friend good morning, and getting distracted on Instagram or on TikTok. So that can be a difficult task, is not going straight on your phone right after you wake up. We are tempted to be on our phone. We are very, very tempted. How about this? Hide your phone and just get an alarm clock. I'm planning to get an alarm clock. I'm planning to switch out my phone for an alarm clock just because I don't really like how sometimes my phone alarm doesn't wake me up. No matter how like early I go to bed, it still doesn't wake me up. So I am planning to get probably a Hatch dupe, or I might get the Hatch alarm clock, but I don't know, because I have heard like the Hatch dupe alarm clock that's on Amazon is way cheaper and it works the same way. But y'all should let me know in the comments or just DM me which one I should get. But I do want to get an alarm clock just because I know it would be better for me. And sometimes I just hate hearing my alarm clock on my phone. And once I stop my alarm clock on my phone, I get straight on my phone. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if that is a difficult task and a difficult habit to stop, then just switch your phone alarm for an actual alarm and turn off your phone until you finish your whole morning routine. Now, the next thing is you want to ask yourself, will it take longer than 5 minutes to do? So, making a bed, for some people, that's a difficult task. I forgot to mention that, but that like takes me less than 2 minutes. Making a bed should be the first thing you should do after waking up, and that takes you about 2 minutes. So if it can take you less than 5 minutes, then you know it's not a difficult thing to do. It's not a difficult task to do. If it can take you more than 5 minutes, then yes, it is a difficult task to do, and you have identified that. Now, you want to know if it takes you 5 minutes to do that, and you can like time yourself on your phone, use a timer. You can use the clock app timer on the iPhone or just any phone that you have and time yourself. And if it takes you 5 minutes, like literally have an alarm clock for like 5 minutes. Set it for 5 minutes, start it, and do the task. And if it takes you 5 minutes to do it, that can ask you, no, that can answer your questions that you're going to ask yourself. Should I do this after I do something very quick like making my bed, or should I just keep it out of my morning routine? Because your morning routine is just helping you wake up. Your morning routine is helping you relax, even though you might have a hectic day. It's helping you get ready for the day, and it is proven when you have a morning routine, your whole day is already better no matter what type of day you're going to have. So when you are asking yourself, if it's going to take me more than 5 minutes, where in my morning routine should I put it? And you also want to time your whole morning routine so you know exactly how long it's going to do your morning routine. Cooking breakfast might take longer, so that can be more than 5 minutes, but you should still add that somewhere in your morning routine. That should be like an easy task. But if it's something like working out, going to the gym, because I know a lot of people have going to the gym in their morning routine. I do Pilates, I do yoga, in the morning, like after I wake up, but I do go to the gym like late morning, which is like it's still part of my morning routine, but like that's like later in the morning. But early morning, I do yoga and I do meditation and I do Pilates, which can take up to like 15 minutes max by just doing all three things after one and after the other. So if it takes you more than 5 minutes, ask yourself, where in my morning routine would I add this? Should I add it in the middle? Should I add it in the beginning? Should I add it at the end? So, yeah, and they say it's better to do the difficult task first, And that is true, but if you can do a few easy tasks first so you don't forget it, do it right quick and then move on to the difficult task in your morning routine. Now, the next topic we're going to talk about is determining your why. So, you want to ask yourself, why are you creating a morning routine? Like I said, today's the last day of February. It is a leap year. It's the 29th, and this won't happen again for the next 4 years. And a lot of people actually start getting their shit together in March because January and February, I was gonna say February and January, but I want to go in order. So, January and February are like the trials and run for creating habits and doing habits for the new year. So March is like, we're gonna get our shit together. So you want to know and determine why you want to create a morning routine. I'm gonna say this. I'm creating a morning routine for myself. I do not have a set morning routine. Hopefully by mid to end March, early April, I have a set morning routine for myself. And the reason why I want to have a morning routine for myself, because I'm someone who likes to be organized, and I'm someone who has high anxiety and stress. And just having a morning routine for myself can actually help reduce my anxiety, help reduce my stress, and help me have a better day from morning to the evening. And I just feel like having a morning routine for yourself and just romanticizing the small little things can really help you have a better day and also help you just feel good about yourself. And who doesn't want to have a slow but also productive morning routine for themselves? So you want to know, what is your why on why you're creating a morning routine. Now, after this, you want to also ask yourself, why are you adding these habits to your morning routine? If you already have a set morning routine, and like now, like you have one since, I don't know, for the last past 6 months or last year or two, and you are adding new habits to your morning routine that you already have, or you are trying out a morning routine that you probably like, saw online, and you want to like change it up and make it your own, and you adding more habits. You want to ask yourself, why am I adding these habits to this morning routine? Why do I want to add these habits to my morning routine? Is there a reason why I'm doing it? Is it because I saw so and so do it and I want to try it? Is it because I think I have time to do A, B, and C? You want to like ask yourself those types of questions on when you're making or kind of like changing up your morning routine. This can also be like for the seasonal change, because a lot of people also have seasonal, I was gonna say season, but seasonal morning routines, which they add habits and just based on that season, because we are in winter right now. In some countries they're in fall. Like, I'm part of this community. You probably heard me say it and talk about it, but like, I don't even know. I have like 50 something episodes. So for like the past episodes, and I talk about how I'm like part of this community called Morning Club, and like there's like girls of all ages all over the world. So like in Argentina, I saw one girl say in Argentina it's fall right now. So like no matter where you're at, the season change. So like a lot of people have seasonal routines, seasonal night routines, seasonal morning routines. So they add habits that they would just do for that season. So if you like want to create a morning routine for the spring, because I live in the States, I live in the United States, I live in the state of Tennessee, and spring is like it's right around the corner. Like today, it felt like winter or like late to early fall, but it was cold. But spring is around the corner. It's about to be March tomorrow, and a lot of people probably want to change up their morning routine just for the spring. So they're going to add habits that they will only do in the spring, like go on a hot girl walk or do some yoga, that's the word. Do yoga outside. It just depends on what type of habits. I probably want to add jump roping outside for my morning routine as a quick little 5 to 10 minute workout. Like, that is something that I can probably add to my morning routine. And that can be something that you can add to your morning routine too, just for the spring or the summer or the fall, no matter what season. But a lot of people have seasonal morning routines, and that's where they or adding new habits in it. Or if you want to keep your morning routine, and you're not that type of person to have seasonal morning routines, you just want to have a basic pack down morning routine for yourself, but you still want to add habits because you feel like it's missing something, ask yourself, what type of habits should I add into this morning routine? Now we're almost done with this episode. So next thing we're going to talk about is determining how much time you need for each thing on your morning routine. So the first thing you want to do, like I already talked about this when I was talking about like the difficult part on creating the morning routine and identifying your difficult tasks and how waking up early can be difficult for some people, but you want to know and ask yourself, what time should I wake up? This is something that you want to do because the time that you wake up, especially if you're a college student, high school student, or you work a 9 to 5, the time that you wake up is going to depend on how many hours you can do things before you do what you have to do for the rest of the day. So no matter if it's high school, college, 9 to 5, or whatever you do, or if you are a content creator but you have something like in mid morning, early afternoon, you want to know what time works for you to wake up so you have time to do everything that you want to do in your morning routine and not worry about rushing through it. Now, the next thing is you want to start time blocking. So this is something I probably will do when I determine how many hours it really takes for me to do this morning routine and how much time it takes me to do everything in my morning routine. I want to start time blocking. I actually did create a morning routine on Notion for myself and I had time blocking, but when I noticed that it was not for me and how each time was very unrealistic for me, I was like, yeah, I need to change this. So you want to like first see what time works for you, and then after you do that, time yourself, write down the times, try it for a whole month because a whole month is what, 30 to 31 days, and a habit can stick for a month for it to be added to your routine. So do that for yourself. I want to do a morning routine for myself, and that is something I want to do, but time blocking helps with like scheduling, so why not just do it for your morning routine? It can help you stay consistent. It can help you just not feel rushed because yeah, we do have those days where we rush in the morning because on what time we wake up. But if you have a time block on when you have the morning routine, on what time and how many minutes or how many hours, I'm just saying you should never want to do a task in your morning routine for an hour, but how many like minutes it takes you to do that, that can really like help you know exactly if you want to add a new habit into your morning routine. On okay, so from this time block, let's say it's like 5:30 to like 6, that's 30 minutes, and from like the next time block is what, 6:50 to like 7:15. I have room in between those two to add a new habit into my morning routine to try. So you have time and like right here and there, and you can like if you want to add something into your morning routine, you can be like, okay, I have time for that. So yeah, and time blocking helps, and it helps you become organized, and that's rules are made. A morning routine is basically a schedule for yourself. Same thing with a night routine, by the way. I already talked about that. So, before we close on this episode, I want to talk about not a lot, but a few other key points that I wrote down in my notes. So, one thing you want to do is move your body. It is very, 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 very important to move your body. I try to dance sometimes, to listen to music and just dance when I'm getting dressed or after I get dressed. I have like a little dance break. Sometimes I do yoga, sometimes I do Pilates, sometimes I do both. But moving your body in the morning helps the blood flow, especially when you have been sleeping for like, I don't know, 5 to 8 hours straight. And stretching right after you wake up can help you like get all the kinks and all that from your bodies and help you feel refreshed. I do recommend getting a body roller and using that probably when you're doing yoga. If you do that in the morning or just after you wake up, it helps you, especially if you sleep wrong and you have like a kink in your back. If you like use like the body roller on your back, it can actually help. I have a body roller that I got off of Amazon. I will put it in the show notes, but it's like a pink foam body roller, but it's like hard foam. And what I like about this body roller is that it has like little like pieces, spikes, I would say, not like sharp spikes, they like shape of a rectangle, which can actually help the kinks that's in your back. So the little knots, the tight knots that is making your back ache, and it can help that, especially if you sleep wrong. So I will put that in the show notes down below. So if you want to add a body roller into your wellness, I don't know, wellness items that you have, and to add it to your morning routine, definitely. And I just hit my mic with my phone, but I definitely recommend getting that. Another thing is you want to practice mindfulness. So meditation, and I'm about to like talk about meditation in a few minutes, but meditation helps you practice mindfulness. I like doing at least 3 to 5 minutes every day. Is very quickly, especially if I'm in a rush. I find like a very quick meditation, do it, and okay, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. But if you don't add meditation and you don't do it in your morning routine, I do recommend doing it. It helps you clear your mind, especially if you have so much stuff from the last previous day that you're still thinking about that you shouldn't be thinking about. It helps you clear your mind. So, talking about meditation, you probably heard in most of their previous episodes, probably like the last, well, no, last episode, not previous episodes, but last episode, I am planning to do guided meditations on the You Against You podcast YouTube channel, strictly on YouTube, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I have to still record the guided meditations, which I will probably do tomorrow through Sunday, but I will be starting posting guided meditation videos on YouTube starting Tuesday of next week. So it'd be quick. It, like I said, still in the theme of season 3, but some might be up to like 30 minutes, some might be up to 15 minutes, some might be up to 5 minutes. So just a quick little meditation or a long meditation. Some might be affirmations, but just know starting next week. So when this episode comes out, that same week that this episode comes out, which is Sunday, the first ever guided meditation that I'll be doing will be out. So stay tuned for that. But I do recommend doing meditation. It does help. And if you don't add it to your routine, I recommend doing that. Okay? Okay. And I don't know why I like winked a little, but yeah. But that is it. For I say the final roundup, like I said in the beginning, test it out. I was about to say, okay, that's it, da da da. But testing out this routine. So after you like write it down and determine what you want to add to your routine, test it out. Like I said, it takes a whole month for you to actually make this a ritual, a habit, a full actually stuck routine for yourself. So test it out. And when you're testing it out, you can see what you can add and what you don't want to do. And that, does it take you more time than you thought it would? Or does it take you less time than you thought it would? So, yeah. But besties, and that is it, and excuse me, but that is it for today's episode, besties. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and leave a rating and review if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, and to leave a rating if you're listening to this on Spotify. But that is it for season 3, episode 4 of You Against You podcast, which is how to create a morning routine for yourself, to create the perfect morning routine for yourself. Nothing will actually be perfect, but I feel like if you want something to be perfect, you just have to tell yourself that. But also, go follow You Against You podcast, Instagram at You Against You pod dot by Deja, and that is the same username as for the TikTok, which both links will be in the show notes. And then follow me on both my TikTok and personal Instagram, which is Deja DAJAH underscore Nicole NICOLE underscore. Also, go check out my personal YouTube channel, which is Deja Nicole. So I really do hope that you like today's episode, besties. And again, before I close down today's episode, remember that I do have a business called Deja Nicole Beauty, and I actually have so many things. I told y'all in the beginning of this episode, I have so many things for that, and I just want to focus on that too. So the Etsy shop link will be in the show notes. Also, remember that we do have a Geneva group chat. I'm planning to actually chat and talk to y'all more. So if you want to add yourself to that, the link will be in the show notes as well. Again, the quote of the day is, "It's never too late to dream bigger dreams." The affirmation of the day is, "I am doing my best," and that is enough. I think that is a affirmation that everyone should tell themselves. And then the journal prompt of today's episode, today is, what is 3 things I can do to get closer to my goals or goal? No matter if you have one goal or multiple goals, what are 3 things that you can do to get closer to that or to them? But I really do hope that you like today's episode, and remember, it's you against you, not you against the world. And to always go after your goals no matter what. Do not give up, because once you give up, you will have some struggling and some trouble to get back to your goals. And I love you guys, and I see y'all in the next episode of You Against You.